As far as the directing on this goes, I
don't know if it was plot.
let me go back to the beginning here. I like this first scene. I think the second scene has a few more difficulties. I like that we established the room, that we come in on what she's working on. And I think this move really gets the shock of him coming into the room. Coming in tight is good.
I was doing nothing, like you said. And suddenly a wrecking ball came flying into my apartment.
Holy crappy hell.
Nice cut to her reaction there.
I don't know if it was plot. I was you just said it was very...
It's interesting with the tracking shot. I think one of the things with this is just an operator thing, which is kind of interesting. The emotional thing about these kind of shots is that they have to be going with the actor's emotional move and physical move. So what happens is it looks like you're maybe zooming out almost a little bit there, but it would be nice if the move didn't really happen until he started moving.
Holy crappy hell.
So now if the move started, right?
I was...
And I think that's the only problem with that. I think the acting's good through here.
Meeting an insurance agent the day your policy runs out, that's coincidence.
And it would be nice if the move had stopped before we got there. Do you know what I mean? Because it just feels like we're still sort of drifting. The move accompanies his intense move toward her, but once she starts talking, he's waiting for the information. So it would be nice to have that stopped before then.
Saying he's visiting, well, that's plot. But a wrecking
Oops. Wow, that was weird.
something else entirely.
And I really like the direction of this, where you've got the room of them going back to it. And to go back to the other edit we saw of Jessica's, the reason that we need all that other stuff is that these students are as much a part of this scene as anything, and they really make the fact that she's teaching and he's coming in to be in her class that she's teaching really important. So it's wonderful that the character can keep teaching while she's trying to help him. This cut is a little hard because I think if you're going to have actors speak, I would have them just full out improvise it. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't look like they're trying to speak low to cover up for script that's missing. Either make the call, have them do the improvisation, or not. But as it is, it feels like it's a little bit like you've got actors or extras mumbling.
Harold! Control your fate.
The other thing you could do is have her screaming Harold be the cut point into this scene from the other scene. In other words, leave him stranded with the students writing and then hear her say Harold and cut to them walking.
Harold, this is a last-ditch effort, but it's possible. And then, maybe you could ask her to stop. But I can't make any guarantees. No, Harold, you were right. This narrator might very well kill you.
So this is very nice, and you guys your acting is believable. I think, Whitney, the only note I would have for this whole section is there's a point where I think this has got to be maybe a realization for the professor that somehow this person could actually kill him. And that's a big admission, and I think just because we're in a comedy doesn't mean that it's not hugely serious. So I think the question of how this moment is when she says, you know, you were right, Harold, this person may very well kill you. Do you know what I mean? I think it's as serious as it ever gets for this guy. He's like, I've been teaching stuff all these years, and I thought it was just my imagination, but now something's really happened, and fiction can actually kill you. So the seriousness, it feels to me like you're not quite taking it as seriously as you need to. But I think that's the realization here in this place. The wrecking ball, everything else, right? This is the place where it would happen.
So I humbly suggest that you just forget this and go on living your life.
I mean, you're throwing it away, and I think it's literally like saying you have cancer and you've got 3 weeks to live. I'm not going to throw it away. I think I'm going to bring it to him a little bit more seriously than that.
I am living my life. I would like to continue.
Harold, you could use it to go on an adventure or discover something, or you could finish reading Crime and Punishment. Hell, Harold, you could eat nothing but pancakes if that's what you really wanted.
This is the place where, in the other edit that Jessica does, it's interesting trying to solve these difficulties of the sitting and Scott's extra coming through. I think I just play around with it. I think she solved a little bit of it by having follow the sit a little bit differently. I think we solve a little bit of it by cutting to that shot that shoots from what's now screen left towards where Scott comes in. But I just play around with this series of edits to see if you can make the structure of it work a little bit better for the narrative.
Don't eat nothing but pancakes? I don't want to eat nothing but pancakes. I want to live.
Yeah, I really like his performance best in that shot, and I don't understand why you took it. You used that shot. Maybe there's something where we literally hear like a door slam or something and footsteps coming. I mean, it might be interesting to see if you could find an audio solution to it, so that a lot of times the editing process, cutting to something new, we need something that pulls us to that edit. So even if it's just a sound that kind of gets into our consciousness, that might help with that. And then you might be able to kind of keep that nice shot that you have of him.
Who in their right mind would give it a choice between living
And the one right here feels to me like, I understand that you like Whitney's little moment there, which is cool. Her little apology.
Who in their
I think,
right mind would give it a choice between living
yeah, this one cuts weird. Who in their right mind? You're rolling it under there, which I like. I think I might try to see whether you might have to lose Whitney's look to him, this look, in order to, come off of.
I want to live.
So, even just to stay in that other shot where he says who in their right mind would have, and not feel like you have to.
Right mind would give it a choice between living.
In other words, the problem is that you interrupt the acting flow for the moment. So you might lose the moment, even though it's a nice moment.
Pancakes. Chooses pancakes.
Harold, pause to think. I believe that you would find the answer is inextricably contingent upon the type of life being led. And of course the quality of the pancakes.
And maybe back to Harold here,
Understand what I'm saying?
so that we're seeing Harold maybe and hearing her say, you understand what I'm saying? Because it's really his moment here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Go to him before the yes. But otherwise, this is a good staging. I really like the shot choice in the other room. Both the actors, your acting's really good. Oh, this is another thing. I think if you're going to use this, I think we should see the handoff. It shouldn't come post handoff. In other words, have some distance between their hands and make it more important that this document has his life in it, if that makes sense.
This is my life.
Absolutely.
Good work by the actors. Whitney, I just think there's that seriousness. You're kind of sincere and lighthearted about it, and that's believable, but maybe not the scene. Okay, cool.